Hey, good morning, everybody. We are at our graduate boot camp Mastermind, I believe number 8. It's the 10th. It's October 8th, and we're here to rock and roll this morning. So let's hear from our panel who's here so far. Why don't you go ahead and say hi and introduce yourselves. Linda, you go first.
Okay. Hey, it's Linda. Good morning. And having a really great week. So excited to be here.
Good. And Robert?
Good morning. It's Robert Vaughn with RobertVaughnLive.com. And I've had a slow week, so I haven't had a whole lot going on. Really just woke up early this morning and have been trying to get through this Module 7.
Okay, very good. And for all of you out there watching, glad you could join us. We have our Facebook chat available, so you can always check that out. So you can let us know what you think about what we're talking about. But we're coming up to the end of this. We've got another week or two, and then we'll be transitioning over to the new boot camp with Erica. So everybody that hasn't seen that information yet, check it out on our Facebook page. She'll get the VIP list out this Friday to anybody who wants to be a part of it and send you the link. So we'll all be taking a look at that and getting into some higher level training in the next one. So that ought to be good for everybody.
Exciting.
Yes. So we'll take it from there. There's my name, so now I know who I am.
In case you forgot.
Yeah, well, I mean, with this technical difficulty this morning, getting things reset, it's been a bit of a challenge. But we have persevered and made it through, so here we are.
That's right.
That's what it all counts. We got it done, no matter what it takes. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction anytime.
Correct.
Yes. And all those other great cliches we can come up with.
Okay, Ray, can you synopsis the module so it can jar my memory, since I watched it like a week ago and I'm not kind of remembering what it was about?
Okay. Primarily, it's about taking control of closing. The one thing you want to do is come from a position of strength when you're closing. That it's not for everybody, and you don't have to work with everybody. So
okay.
I know it's worked for me because in the past week or so, dealing with some new people, I have asked them certain questions to see if I even want to work with them. And that's been very helpful in getting them to understand that this is truly a business and not something that we can just play around with.
Right.
It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not something that's going to happen overnight for them. And they have to be ready to really ready to take it to the next level. And it seems to work.
So what kind of questions do you ask them?
That's what I'm looking up right now. Give me a second to pull that up.
I think that a big or a key component here is that if you set your marketing up correctly, then you won't be talking to people who really aren't ready to join to start with.
Mm-hmm.
You won't get a lot of people calling you that are just simply there to find out what the business is about. They will already have a very good idea of what the business is, and basically they're just calling to verify that you're real, and that they know that there's going to be somebody that if they need to reach out and connect to, then there'll actually be someone there that they know that they can talk to.
Right.
Well, that's an ideal situation, but in a lot of cases, people, are still skeptical somewhat. I mean, as much as, like when Dave and Paul were going through the different scenarios, I mean, they came up with some pretty good questions that you hear on a regular basis.
Mhm.
I mean, I know the target marketing, is definitely the way to go, but I still think you get people that, just still have questions, and you have to come across as, it's either you do it or you don't.
Yeah, and I think you have to have that posture. I think a lot of it was about that as well. And I talked a little bit about this in my blog yesterday. That not to lie about how much you make, or you know, as far as marketing. Last night we were joking about those people who rent the Lamborghini and they take a picture in front of just someone else's mansion and make it look like it's their own. And be authentic, but to come from a place of power that I have what you need and I can help you. I have the information, but you're gonna have to do the work. And I can't hold your hand. You're gonna have to. I can guide you and I can show you the steps, but I can't do it for you.
Yeah. I mean, because, even when you get the question, how much are you making, I always turn it around and say, it doesn't matter what I'm making, it's how much are you going to make? Are you going to put the
Right.
work to get it done?
Mhm.
But I got the list of questions here.
Okay.
And, what I do is I just tell them, hey, I'd like to ask you some questions to see if you qualify. And the first one is, have you ever done network marketing, online marketing, or any business opportunities in the past? Second question is, what's driving you to make money, start a business online? How much would you like to make, mostly to live your ideal lifestyle? What would that do for you that you couldn't do now?
Mm.
What would that do? Let's see, where are we? What will that get you that you're not experiencing now? What else do you have going on in your life that will get you there? Now, are you looking to do this full-time or part-time? How many hours do you have to commit to this venture?
Oh.
I just lost the page here.
Uh-oh.
How much do you have to invest to get your business started, and how much do you have to do on a monthly basis? This pretty much sets them up to understand it is a business.
Right.
You just don't want people coming in
One of
around.
one of the questions that David Wood asks, and I saw this on a webinar, I think, not on the module, but he will also ask, how long are you willing to wait to get results? Knowing that building a business, you are probably not going to get instant results. How long are you willing to put in the work to get a result?
Yeah.
And if they're only willing to do it for a month, well, they're kind of living a pipe dream. So I
True.
think he wants them. His goal is for them to say a year. Give them a year.
I don't think a lot of people want to wait that long, though.
No.
Everybody today is instant gratification. Okay.
And a lot of people who are coming from a more desperate situation, like maybe they're not employed, they just got laid off, or something like that. They're in fear mode. So a year without major income coming in or getting to their goal of 3 or 5 or 10,000 a month is kind of scary.
Yeah, and at the same time, though, we do have people that come in and within a month or two are making 10 grand.
Right.
So it's
It's
possible.
not impossible. Right. It's not impossible.
Yeah, because I know on the Prosperity Pipeline hangouts, they're now Vitaly somebody or other was their big star where in the second month he made 10 grand.
Yeah, he's over in Israel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And I think the car dealer guy, can't remember his Robert something Skinner. Yeah, I think he jumped in pretty quick and started making some major income fairly quickly.
Mhm. Yeah, but for the rest of us, we got a lot to learn as we go along, so just getting better.
Yep. And keep adding to what we're doing,
Yeah, because it was interesting. Last night on the Pipeline Prosperity Hangout, Kevin Souza was doing a presentation on the 5 keys that you have to do this business.
Oh.
And the first one was grow.
Oh, yeah.
In person. Doing personal development.
Yeah.
He broke that down pretty good. And then I can't remember all the other ones, but the last one was cash checks. But if anybody wants that, send me a note. I'll give you the link so you can watch the replay. Because he did this whole PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, he's a good presenter.
Yeah. I mean, he just totally loves the company and how it works.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he just got 20 some odd people in the last 30 days.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, it can be done. Well, now we beat that topic to death. Do we have any comments from the people out in the viewing area that want to say something on Facebook that we can go on to? We see we have a few viewers out there, according to our little thing here. So we'll see if anybody puts anything up.
Wow, 20 minutes. We've been on 20 minutes. We need to think of something to talk about.
We've been on 10 minutes.
Oh, we've been on 10 minutes.
Yeah, we started late. We were waiting for Robert.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for hanging in there.
Hey, that's what we're here for. That's why.
Well, I mean, seriously, I think the appeal for a lot of us coming into this business is basically the thing that people don't want to get on the phone, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that part of the attraction for me was that I didn't have to get on the phone and talk to people. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, in this module, what Dave's pointing out is that, it's not something that you have to do, but in the beginning, it's something that you may want to do to get your business up and running.
Right.
Because, I mean, there's a learning curve, no question about it. I'm still in the learning curve. But the point is that don't, just because you can do the business, without the phone, that doesn't mean that that's still not an option for a lot of people who want to use that as a way to connect to people.
Right.
I see, I mean, especially, I'm kind of an old school guy, so, a guy like me that may be what I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
So, we shouldn't automatically tell people that, just forget about using the phone because, for some people that is the way they want to connect.
Right.
And, I ran into a guy, a West Point graduate here a few days ago, and, he didn't look like it, but he was in his mid-70s, and he and I were both looking at some of the same books there at the bookstore, and that's what we sparked up this conversation, right? And he's in another network marketing business, and it's something that I had looked at previously before I came into Empower. So, he was trying to find a way to edge in and pitch me, and I wasn't really trying to pitch anything.
Yeah.
Right.
But he has the first thing he asked me was on my website, did I have my phone number? And I said, I'm not sure if I even do, because I said I really don't do business over the phone. So, and that surprised him.
Yeah.
And so, but of course, I gave him my phone number, and he's talked to me a couple of times. And of course, he's still trying to pitch me into his business.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know, but like I say, there are still a lot of people out there who, they rely on that method because that's basically what they grew up with. That's what they came into the business with. So even though a lot of us, coming into the business now shy away from the telephone, and that, I guess, because that's more of a one-on-one conversation that you have, right? Rather than, texting back and forth or commenting back and forth online and that kind of thing. And me myself, I don't really get many people online on a Google Hangout or do a Skype with them. So I mean, I don't know about what you two use, but so the phone can definitely be viable for lots of folks.
Yeah, I put my phone number in my follow-up emails in case they want to get a hold of me. And I've had, maybe one person give me a call. But yeah, it's out there for contact. I mean, whatever way you got to do to make sure you connect with people, have it out there.
And, if you don't want to actually put your cell phone number, you can create a Google number that will connect to your phone or text you. If they leave a voicemail, it just rings into space, and then they leave a voicemail, it'll create it in text and then send you the text. Mm-hmm. And so, for safety reasons, you might want to consider a Google number. You can also kind of pick your number, so it can be something that's a little bit easier to remember. Kind of like a business line. You used to, 5500 or, something that was easier to remember. And I know Lisa Torres does that. She has a Google number, and then she will text back and forth, and then she doesn't get on the phone or a Skype call until they sign up. I mean, she'll answer their questions, but they don't really get like coaching or any kind of private conversation with her person to person unless they've signed up. But that's, that's a personal preference. She doesn't want to spend a lot of time on the phone, and so she chooses to do that route.
Yeah, because the thing that I got excited about when I first signed up was the automation with everything.
Right.
Going through the the first funnel and getting involved in something, and then going through the profit maximizers. It all took care of itself. I mean, that's how I signed up.
Mm-hmm.
There was no doubt in my mind once I saw the whole thing, I was getting in. But everybody's different.
Somebody was saying, I don't know who it was saying that when you can see, I think it was through iPass, you can see, kind of where they are in the process. And if they were stuck on a certain level or after they got to a certain level, they would pick up the phone and call them and just say, hey, I want to introduce myself. I see that you've gotten to, video 3 or whatever. Just wanted to see at this point if you have any questions or concerns, and let you know that I am real and I'm here if you need me, and kind of maybe talk about how amazing the company is, etc. And so many people will be like completely shocked that a person called them because they're just not used to that.
Yeah, I mean, contact is a big thing in this business because, like you said, people don't know if you're real or not. They don't know if you're working with a robot, some other kind of form of non-human contact.
Alien kind
of stuff, yeah. So, but it keeps it interesting.
Very.
Yeah. And
there's some crazy people out there.
Yeah, but I mean, with the Facebook contact, I mean, I know it's been working for me. Getting people to respond to my quotes of the day, especially where I can, pick up people because I can send them a message. Thanks for liking or sharing my piece. It's great to find like-minded people online. I like to meet new people. I like to get to know more about you. So what do you do? And that starts up the conversation. And that's been going back and forth. And I got some conversations going on. Gets people start asking what I do, and I do it in a roundabout way, so they get interested, and then we go further than that.
That's fantastic. I mean, Facebook chat really works, so there's a lot of people doing that.
Yeah. Again, on the Pipeline Prosperity, they got a 5-step system they use, but they don't tell anybody about it until they get in. So I don't feel anything from them on that. But that's the beauty behind this business. I mean, you can watch everybody's hangouts and pick up little bits and pieces here and there.
Right.
You're trying to learn it all yourself. I mean, you see what's working for other people.
Well, and that's the beauty of their, they have this 5-step simple, steps to follow or something. And that's their hook to get people to join, that they're not going to tell you what it is till you join.
Mm-hmm.
And people want to know that they're going to get instructions.
Yeah. I mean, because their whole mission, was freeing 100 people a year, 100 families a year from their jobs. I mean, that's, pretty noble. And, just the way that their community works. I mean, you got somebody like Paul leading the charge. I mean, he's always up and bubbly and positive and, knows Think and Grow Rich pretty well. So it's infectious to the rest of the group.
Absolutely. I love him. That video of him pumping up his kids before they go to school was precious.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
we are Hutchings boys.
Yeah, they're going to grow up with a great attitude, those kids. So, all right. Well, I know there's some people on here that are interested in some of the syndication Linda and I started doing on our videos. And, I mean, I had been averaging 300 plus on a regular basis, and then I told Linda about it. And she started doing it, and she's getting 500 and 600 views on hers lately. And what it comes down to is that we're just posting in a lot of groups that have something to do with network online marketing and, that type of business. And the more you post in, the more views you're going to get. So I know she's up around 130 groups. I think I'm just under 100. So, I mean, it does work to get the views going. And that's something that we all need.
And to be different, I mean, I post my link that actually goes to my blog. It's not a lead capture page or anything, which I need to change if I'm getting 800 views on a video. Probably should post something that captures their emails. But the thing is, I was posting in groups a while ago, maybe last year or so, and I just felt like I was kind of falling through the cracks because there's so much crap in there. But you really have to just ignore that and be different. And, with positive quotes where you're not saying, join my deal and make $600 a month or, whatever those, kind of spammy posts are. I don't say join me or anything. Even in my videos, it's pure content, and I put my link to my blog, and I think it's because it's different that it just stands out, and you just gotta hone in and say, okay, if 800 people are paying attention, can I get them to take the next step and maybe give them my email? So now that's the kind of thing I need to work on now, is I need to create some sort of funnel that they can either get something free or get information or something and give me their email so I can build a list from it or add to my list from it.
Yeah. All right.
But
We have a question from Nancy. Where exactly are you posting them? And let me just pull this up here real quick. Where are we? Hold on. Pull this up further. Hold on, Nancy. I'm getting you the big answer right here.
mhm.
No, I'm not. Just disappeared on me. Put that back up. This is great having two computers to work with while you're doing this.
Mm.
All right, just to give you an idea, some of the groups that we're in is network marketing, promote your home business, investment and income opportunities, make money simply from home business opportunities, social media marketing for great profits. You can just go in and search for groups and find them. Just put in your interest and it'll take care of it for you.
Yeah.
But it's time. It takes some time because you do them all individually, so you don't get in trouble with Facebook. And on some days, for instance, I do my inspirational quote, I do my blog, and I do my video. So that's taking probably about 3 hours with the three of them to get that done. But it's something I've trained myself to do from first thing in the morning. To get it out of the way, and then I have time when people respond back, especially to the quote of the day, where I go ahead and get the conversation going with them for thanking them for watching it or posting it somewhere else. So that's how that works, and we've seen success with it. With Linda getting so many on hers right off the bat, it does work. And video is the way of the future to get things done on Facebook. Everybody's talking about Facebook video ads now and how they're putting that little new thing on
The profile picture.
profile page where there's that 7-second loop of video to welcome people. So, that's the way I'm looking at it. So, I say just give it a shot. The more the merrier.
Are you posting that from or sharing that from your fan page or from your regular profile page?
No, it comes. I post it up to my regular Facebook page, and then I copy the link. When it says I've uploaded a new video, I click on that, copy that link, and then I paste that into all the spots.
Well, I was wondering if it would be better if a person used their fan page so that you could then use your insights to kind of measure more of how long people are actually viewing your videos, etc.
Right.
Yeah.
The problem with sharing is that it doesn't bring up your list of groups. You have to start typing in, and it'll give you suggestions of groups you're in that have that word in it. But what I found, because I was doing that before, I was sharing the post. But the problem was that it doesn't give you the whole list. Like if you put in work and there's a bunch of work from homes, it'll only give you 5 suggestions, and you may have 10 groups that you're in that have work from home in the title. And so a lot of groups get missed by sharing unless you have a printout list that you can check off or something where you type out the whole thing. But even then, it's kind of hard to, if it's the same phrase, they can be missed. I am kind of researching an automated system to post where it appears that it's authentic, because I want the audience to think it's authentic and I want Facebook to think it's authentic. And I still want to act as if I posted. The problem with a lot of people that use auto posters is they just let the auto poster do its stuff and they don't react to the messages or the likes. And you have to do it as if you posted regularly, like Ray's doing, where someone likes your stuff and you thank them personally for liking your post. And So if I find something that's good and not, they all have like a monthly price, or um, usually if you want it to run off the internet as opposed to running in the background, it's going to be a monthly thing. If it's something that runs off your computer, it's going to be like a one-time fee usually. So I'm still looking into that, because most of them I still see, will say that it's, Hootsuite is the one that most people know, and it says right there that it's posted via, Post Planner or via Hootsuite, and I don't want that to show. I want it to look very, very authentic,
Right.
because I'd rather spend the time. The problem is, the more stuff you do, the more marketing you get into, you're not going to have that time to dedicate to post, and especially if you get into more groups. I mean, there are people that are in 300 or 600 groups. Well, if you post 2 or 3 times a day, you're spending your entire day just posting. So, you got to kind of meet yourself in the middle, and, kind of figure out what works best. Because you don't want to just stick with that. You want to market other places too and get yourself out there in other places. So there's going to be a point where, especially going through Erica's boot camp, we may be doing assignments that we're not going to have time to post in 100 groups 3 times a day.
Says
Um, well, I guess we'll be getting up at 4 a.m. to get it all done.
got to do whatever you got to do.
Right.
I look at it. I mean, I get so out of kilter after doing these, because I'm so used to starting at 6 with getting
Right.
work done, that whenever I have something this early, I'm off base for the rest of the day, because I'm not in my routine.
Mm-hmm.
OCD.
Hey, in this case, it works.
That's right. It does.
With the business by exercising, I mean, hey, it's just as much into both.
Yeah. No, it works. I'm just teasing you.
I know. For somebody, I got to yell at it all the time.
I know. I'm the exact opposite. Did you get your stuff done? No.
So, Robert, do you have a routine you try to keep?
I don't stick to it as well as I should. I usually I get up, I start my reading first, and once I do my reading, I don't always post it. I should post it right away. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to come clean and say, no, I don't have a clean cut routine,
Yeah.
because I mean, if I did, I would get a lot more done. There's no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
I still let distractions creep in, and sometimes, let's say for instance, if I'm going to do a blog, I may start doing some research for it, and get distracted by, even though I'm trying to, focus on this one topic, I may turn around, and because something else catches my eye that interests me as well, I may go read that a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
And there you go down the rabbit hole.
That's right. That's right. And 3 hours later, right? I really have gotten nothing done. So yeah.
Robert, one thing I'd suggest for you, because I know it's working for me and Linda, is get an accountability partner.
Yeah.
Somebody you can check up on, and they can check up on you to keep you in line. Because like, when you go missing, MIA for a few days, I'll catch you.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those.
Yeah.
He's a boot camp Nazi.
I mean, the people that have stayed involved since we left the boot camp, you want to see them keep going.
Right.
I mean, because there's a good number that you don't see any of this stuff anymore. You don't know if they're still doing it. And these were people that were with us in Vegas even. And people's, things change as you go through time. But for people that are still involved, you want to make sure they stay there and keep them on track.
Sure.
Right.
I mean,
if they still want it, I mean, some people's, they change their mind. Something else becomes more important or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're just letting life get in the way, but they still want, what we're doing, sometimes just reaching out to them and saying, I'm noticing that you're not doing some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the push they need to say, you know what, yeah, I'm letting life get in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a tendency to fall off for 2 or 3 days, and then I'm on this big push to get caught up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And because I let that happen, it prevents me from moving forward in the process because I'm always still in the catch up
Catch
mode,
up
you
mode.
know.
Didn't you
And
learn
so
anything in the first boot camp?
apparently not enough.
I mean, for the guy that finished up with everything, but you did it all in like 2 days.
Right. Now, Robert, are you someone who thrives on the stress of catching up, like a deadline?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I do.
Okay.
I mean, even in my corporate life, a lot of times I did my best work. Basically, I guess you would say, um, it would be after hours, late at night. You know,
Mm,
regardless of what it was, which and that's part of why that whole life took a toll on me.
Mm-hmm.
But
mm-hmm.
yeah, I really do believe that. I've thought about that a lot. It seems like the more pressure I come under, the better I seem to pull things out, I guess.
Okay. Well, then you need to figure out a system that gives you that on uh, maybe a timeline instead of like getting distracted and then rushing to catch up. Maybe set a timer and play mind games with yourself. Like, I only give yourself 90 minutes, and I have to get this and this and this done by the time that timer dings. That way, you still kind of get the thrill of, the pressure is on, but you're not catching up. You're doing it on on time.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a gal, I forgot her name, Hannah something. She's an expert in procrastination. She's like a coach for people who really need to succeed and want to succeed, but procrastination is stopping them.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has like categories she puts people in where, and one of them is that person that just thrives on getting it done at the tick of the clock. That it's I'm trying to beat the clock here because there's a deadline coming up. So I don't know what she would say. I've never been in her coaching sessions. I just know that that's how she kind of puts people in different the reason why they procrastinate, and I just think maybe playing that time game and kind of putting a mind game on yourself might help as far as making it a little bit more interesting for you during the day and less distractions.
Well, I use the day, I just do mine per day. And it's, I got to get all this done today. And
Right.
that's my limit. I mean, it's no time before or after. It's today, this gets done. And, no matter what it takes, I got to get all that stuff done. So what
Yeah.
I've been doing is, since I'm, doing more of the work Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, because I got the blog, I got the video, I got reading, I've got my postings. I'll do nowadays on Thursday and Friday, I'll do the blog for the next day, that day. So I just have to
Mm.
go out and post it in the morning.
Right.
So I have that ahead of me. And what I found has been good is something I stole from Dr. Steve, and that's using infographics for your blog, where you just
Mm.
have to write a little bit at the beginning and the end, and the infographic takes care of the rest of it. So if you checked out any of my blogs lately, after I did the series on terminology you need to know in the business, the last two on 29 ways to be creative and how to grow your business with content marketing, I just used infographics and made it real simple. And then I can do the same thing to my list, send them the same information.
Where are you finding the infographics?
Online. I just do it.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a bunch on Pinterest you can find also.
Yeah, Pinterest has a lot of infographics because they're long.
Yeah.
You could probably find a lot on, what is that? I guess SlideShare. Is that the name of that?
Yeah, you can do that too. Yep.
Yeah.
I get some of my quotes off of there, so I don't have to worry about copyright infringement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I have actually used, and that was time-wise. Erica suggested that as well, Linda, that I set a timer and use a timer. And when I do that,
Yes.
it does help. It does
Yeah.
help. Because I feel that a little additional pressure to beat the clock, as you say.
Right.
And that's probably part of it for me, because if I know I've got 2 days to do something, well, what do you think I'm going to do?
Wait until the last half of the second day, like I do.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And one of the things that that we talked about in our local mastermind over and over is that all 3 of us, we need to be getting ahead. We
Right.
need to get ahead so that when we go to post our blogs and our reading, etc., our videos, the stuff that we need to post tomorrow, we should already have done today. At least today, right?
Yep.
So that that when it comes time to post, then you can just simply post, and it's not time to scramble or whatever. And the other thing is so that you can post at the right time, okay? Because one of my flaws is I will post my videos later in the day, and so they get less views because less people see them.
No, there's people on the other side of the world that are wide awake.
This is true, but depending on what my video is about, okay, let's say, for instance, for veterans, okay, if I'm talking something about veterans and I post that late in the day, I will have to say a lot of the vets are up late at night, so that's not a big issue there, okay? But depending on, and you're right, Ray, I mean, around the world, there's always someone up and going, right? So 24 hours a day, there's somebody to put that in front of, but they may not be, the right target group.
Right.
Yeah.
Robert, I was thinking about you I think it was yesterday, because I remembered something that happened at I think it was the Denver event. And that was when Sharp was still, part of the company and everything. And because I'm directly related to them, I get invited. That was when they don't really do this anymore, but they were having individual, like, dinner dance party kind of thing. Well, they would have individual dinner meetings with, like, appetizers and just kind of meet and greet on Saturday night, and then later everybody from all teams would converge and they'd have like a dance kind of thing. And when I was in the meeting with Sharp, I think he was doing most of the talking. I don't think Wood was. I don't even know if he was there yet or if he was just kind of letting Sharp talk. There was a guy that stood up that was young guy, like early 20s, but a veteran. And he basically said that Empower Network kept him from committing suicide because he had seen such terrible things. And I don't know if you write about that, but I know you work with the veterans, and I know a lot of veterans need extra income that maybe they are not very employable, or whatever's going on with them, but it's more than just money. I don't know. Do you talk about that in your blogs?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Okay, good, good.
And and that's my whole mind frame here is that a veteran out there, it doesn't matter who they are, male, female, whatsoever. If the whole thing in my mind is that we have to create hope for those that are kind of falling off on the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can see a light at the end of the tunnel, then that continues. I mean, that keeps them getting up every day, right?
Right.
And I just see this as a way that, regardless of what type of business they might want to get involved with, this is a way to get the foot in the door and to get started.
Mm-hmm.
Rather
and it's also, it helps with purging, like with Jeannie, all that stuff. A lot of time, and she didn't want to talk about it. A lot of times, if you talk about it, like, not in a complaining way, but this is what I'm going through, and I'm getting through it because of this. The purging of that darkness by writing and thinking that it might help someone else is such a light of hope for them too. Having a sense of purpose, and because a lot of those, to me, the way I see it, a lot of those guys feel like, if they can't, if they're injured veterans, or they can't go back into service, and they're kind of wandering around wondering what to do. They do have that, especially if they're career guys. I mean, Christian has gone through that, even though he's a young guy, where he retired because he got into the service so early, but then he got, he was starting to get out, and he was like, what am I gonna do with my life? This is all I know, is the military.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it too, is that the military, of course, most people will retire from the military once they hit around 20, 22 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Reason being at 22 is because their benefits increase if they stay that extra 2 years. So, but it's basically, it's just like, I guess the way it was explained to me whenever I left the service, okay, and at the time, it just didn't make sense to me, okay, but the person that was giving us our out processing briefing or whatever said, you're going to go through the 5 stages of grief, okay, and you really don't grasp that at the time, but it does happen. It does happen. Because you are literally losing a family,
right?
So it really, and by having something else to focus on and having others to focus on to help, I think that's the key for a lot of these veterans, is that they can, it's like, they continue to tell us, is that you will do more for others than you'll do for yourself, right? So,
right.
That's kind of my I guess my mindset on this thing, is if we can get a lot of these vets focused on helping others, then that will really help them pull themselves out of the hole.
Yeah, plus coming into our community, everybody's so positive, and wanting to move
family like,
Yes, it is a community. It is a community. Absolutely. Absolutely. It fills the void of a lot of the holes that are created when a person leaves the military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a
That's
comment here
awesome.
from Nancy. She says, yes, Linda, if you are going through something, chances are someone else is going through it, and you can help someone by sharing your journey,
Yeah.
which I think we've all seen.
Mm-hmm.
With that, too, Robert, I want to say thanks for jumping on my Periscope yesterday with Deb and Steph.
Well,
I didn't see you guys on there because the stand that I put my camera in blocks off the bottom. So I didn't see the replay that you guys were on there, so I appreciate it. And I got you plugged into the veterans, too, so.
So you had your little mastermind yesterday, your breakfast mastermind.
right. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wednesday mornings, yeah.
10 o'clock Central.
Yeah. I was just telling Ray how much I love their new branding that they have going on. It is perfect. I'm glad they didn't change, because when she showed me what they were working on, because they hadn't launched yet, and she was talking to me about Orlando and stuff, and she was like, do you want to see what we're working on? I yeah. So she sent me the link, and I'm like, that is perfect.
Yeah, and they came up with what was it? They were going to go with they were going with something else besides. They were going with Old Broads. And new tricks. Okay. And they decided that they would go with Old Broad's Reboot. And I said, Reboot, that's perfect for this type of environment, right?
Right.
Because that's for the people that you're talking to, that they can easily relate to that. And how many of us run into a problem with our computers in the past and say, well, crap, I guess I'll just have to reboot it, flip and turn it off and turn it back on.
Right.
So it's worked out great.
And don't we want to do that in life sometimes? So that's
all
perfect.
the time. All the time.
All right, then. We are now just past the top of the hour, so to respect everybody's time, excuse me, I guess we'll wrap this up for today. Don't forget, for next week, we'll be doing Top Producer Lesson number 8, Upselling and Getting People All In. So get that watched, and we'll have the discussion on that next week, and hopefully we'll get more people on the panel again. Because I guess next week and the week after, and then before you know it, we're going to be starting the other boot camp, so we'll be putting this one to rest for a while. And back with Erica and everybody else.
And I do want to say, we'll leave the group open. I mean, we're not going to shut down the Facebook group or anything. We just won't be having the hangouts because we'll be hanging out with Erica.
But if you want them, maybe we'll come back and do them anyway.
Great. Gonna make me get up twice like Robert.
Yeah, we'll just do 2 a week, just so we can talk about what we did the day before.
There you go.
And we'll just keep it to the grads, So we'll see. All right, well, for the Graduate Boot Camp Mastermind, we will see you all again next week.
Yes, sir.
Don't miss us. Oh, wait, hold on. We got one more message here. Oh, Nancy says, thanks, everybody. Talk soon. Thanks, Nancy, for tuning in.
Thanks, Nancy.
Everybody else that's out there that we don't know about, and those people on the replay. So, till next week, have a great day. Take care.